Grab my phone.
Yeah, make sure you text all your friends during the recording, Sid. That'd be perfect.
That's what I do all the time.
Yes. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Video Games Are Hard, episode 41, 40 uno, for all you Spanish fans out there.
Femtiet.
I believe the term is 40 uno.
Yes.
No, you're right. We got me, Average Trey. I got my co-host, Sadid Williams.
It's Firtiet, actually. I screwed it up.
You're close enough. I would have believed you.
Yeah. Well, you did believe me.
I believe anything.
Yeah, I was just like, no, that's 51. Like, no.
It sounded remotely European. I was like, I believe it.
Remotely European equals correct, for sure.
That's all I know.
Yeah, we're here. It's we were talking about it just before. It's just like, oh, who did the intro last week? And I was just like, oh yeah, Lego. We don't have Lego this time. we can't.
And then we're like, we're just gonna get Lego again to do it.
Because we have like that little like conversation, just like, oh, who did it last week? I guess the other person can do it this week. Yeah. It's just like, well, Lego was the most other person that we could theoretically be. So it's just like, we could just tandem. We could just tandem intro. Have we ever tandem introed?
I don't think we have in all 91 episodes. Well, yeah, we were like I'm Trey, I'm Sid. Does that really count?
Does it? I feel like that kind of counts.
If it was truly tandem, it'd be like video, then you say games, and I say R, and you say hard.
You want to intercap it with words?
We'll do that in the future. Don't worry, guys.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, something that we should mention, even though this was mentioned like 3 weeks ago on the news, Zelda delayal.
Oh, yeah.
The Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever delayed to 2023. I'm okay with this because Xenoblade 3 will tide me over. I don't know about you.
I'm totally fine.
Yeah, honestly, it'll be better as well. The more time they put into it, that's good.
Well, that's the Shigeru Miyamoto philosophy, right?
Yeah, philosophy. A rushed game is bad forever. A delayed game is eventually good.
Is good when it comes out, but it's going to be late.
Yeah, so just hold your horses, everyone. That's the whole quote.
That's the saying. To be fair, until you mentioned it, I think you mentioned it like briefly on the Lego episode.
I didn't.
Yeah, just like for a sentence or like in one conversation we had, and I was just like, "Oh, it's delayed." I never knew.
Yeah,
until like you mentioned it.
People in my chat have been saying it a lot, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, nobody in my chat mentions it. Everybody's just kind of like, you eat pickles on peanut butter and cheese on toast? That's crazy. And I'm just like,
they're too disgusted with you to even mention Zelda.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you're into video games? Oh, I thought you were into disgusting food. Let's talk about disgusting food for a bit.
Yeah.
I did put out that tweet. I don't have that on my notes, but I put out a tweet like a week ago of, you saw the tweet, right?
Which one?
The one with my breakfast for the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I made made toast. I just I'm just gonna make toast, and I put peanut butter on it, and I have peanut butter and cheese sandwiches.
Yes, I know this for many years now.
Yeah, and I always recommend that everybody try peanut butter and cheese sandwiches, because the worst reaction I've gotten out of it is it's okay. That's the best. That's the worst reaction I've gotten out of it. It's not something I'm interested in, but I appreciate. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. And
yeah, see, for me personally, I just don't try it because I don't like peanut butter in general.
I respect that.
So if I did like it though, I promise I would try it.
This won't make you like peanut butter.
Yeah, that's not going to change. It's not going to magically. Once I put cheese with it, peanut butter is great.
Yeah,
it's like no, it doesn't work like that.
The cheese masks the taste of the peanut butter somehow.
You better get like extremely sharp cheddar. You can only taste the cheese, then it's good.
But yeah, a week ago I tried it for the first time. I'm like, okay, toast, peanut butter, cheese, and then I was just like, pickles, because I don't know why I just like.
Hey, pickles are fine. I like pickles.
I wanted to cut up a pickle and then I put it on it, and I was like, oh. This is weird. And I ate it. And then the next morning, I made it again for some reason. I haven't made it since, for the record. But then I tweeted it out, being like, this is bad. Like, this is getting bad.
Wait, it tastes bad?
No, but like, no, it's not. It itself was fine. Like, tasting it was fine. But like, I'm going batted down. I'm going batted down road. I'm down.
Oh no, batted down road. No,
I'm going batted down road. No,
don't do it.
I'm going down a bad road with this. So I tweeted it out and people hated it. So then I had to like make up for it a couple days later because we made a chocolate strawberry shortcake. So I had to tweet that out and everybody was just like, okay.
That's why you tweeted that. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, I have to tweet something that like kind of negates the.
Hey, I'm not a disgusting freak. Look, cake.
Look at this chocolate strawberry shortcake I made, and look at how fancy. And I arranged the strawberries and everything, and it looks kind of nice. And it was sold like immediately, but like this is what I made, and everyone's just like, yeah, this one looks good. What the fuck was that other shit?
was that like an April Fool's prank? What is this?
No, I ate that genuinely.
I will admit, ever since we started doing timestamping of our YouTube version of the podcast, I feel a lot more comfortable opening up with some bullshit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's like, hey, if you don't want to hear this, just skip ahead to Mario Sunshine Talk, which we'll get to eventually.
Oh, yeah.
But while we're on the random bullshit right now, I just want to mention something about the grocery store I frequent.
Sure.
Just recently added a self-checkout section.
Oh, yeah.
Which is cool, I typically still prefer just the regular going through like the regular cashier line. Just for like the sheer speed of it, and someone bags it for you. It's so nice.
Are you a small talker?
No, I'm kind of just like, yeah, no milk in a bag. Yeah, just fucking put that shit.
No milk in a bag.
I mean, well, yeah, not like, okay, I know. Where you are in Canada, they literally put the milk in the bag. I'm talking a carton of milk in a bag. All right, it's different. Anyway, I've used self-checkout before. It was fine. Like at Walmart, it was pretty simple to use.
Sure.
The self-checkout they added here I felt like I was defusing a bomb when I was doing it. If I didn't move the bags in just the right way, it was like, leave the fucking bag in the thing. Leave the bag here. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I have to put the bag in the cart eventually. I can't just leave the bag here forever.
Dude, I hate when the self-checkout swears at me. I really do.
Put the fucking bag in the counter.
leave the fucking bag on the rack. Leave the fucking bag.
Leave it. You fucking dumbass. Leave it there. No, but seriously, I would put a few, like, let's put some meat in here and some cheese together. Okay, the bag is full. I'm going to put it from here into the cart. Leave the bag on the fucking counter. Like, what? Like, it was so weird. Like, when I would move any bag anywhere, it would, like, yell at me. I felt like I was just fucking up majorly. But
yeah.
I think after that experience, I'm just going to keep doing the cashier method. Because holy shit.
Yeah, the few times I've done self-checkout, it's been fine. I'm a small talker. So, like, just like my mom, she talks to everybody. Like, when I was a kid, she would talk to everybody
my mom's the same way. I did not get it from her, though. I'm more like my dad. He's a little more secluded. I don't know. Yeah,
she was the, like, you go into the store, it's just like, oh, I recognized 4 people, and it took an hour longer than it should have. Like, that kind of thing.
My mom was the same way.
So, I'm not to that extent, but I will, like, stop and be like, oh, hey, sup, how's it going? Like, how are the kids? What's your dog's name? Like, when I'm out walking my dog, I'm getting a lot better at talking to people.
That's good. That's honestly like a skill people are forgetting.
Oh yeah,
because I know I'm forgetting it. I suck at that stuff.
So like when I use self-checkout, like I don't need to talk to cashiers, but like I'm totally fine just kind of going through the cashier. I know in Europe, they're like mainly, or like in a lot of countries in Europe, it's just like mainly self-checkout.
Because they're ahead of the curve.
They're ahead of the curve.
Those slow Americans, and they're talking to cashiers.
Yeah, your self-checkout place sounds terrible.
So again, like I've used one at Walmart in the past, and it was totally fine. But this one they just added, I used for the first time. When I was doing it, I had like 5 bags of groceries sitting in the, what do they call it, the bagging area?
Sure.
And I was like, is it safe to move it from the bagging area to my cart now? Is it going to yell? Like, what is going on here?
Is it going to yell at me?
Like, I felt, again, it was like, do I cut the red wire or the blue wire? Like, what is it? Like, I don't know why their system was so bad, but maybe I was just stupid or something. Who knows?
Yeah. No, I
anyway,
totally
that was my grocery store experience this morning. I just wanted to get that out there.
We mentioned April Fools.
Uh-huh. Did you get pranked?
No, so over April Fools, I met KO.
Oh, right. Yeah, let's go into that, the birthday bash.
Yeah, so KO's birthday was over the weekend. And KO, who's been on the show a couple times.
Yeah, you live like really close to him.
I thought I lived closer, to be fair. Okay. It was an hour and a half drive. I thought it was going to be a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, Canada's a big place.
You know what? Canada, wide. You know?
It's a big place, small quantity of people.
Yeah. And KO
She filled
lives
the place.
relatively close, and he wasn't initially going to invite me to the party.
Hey, he should have invited me. I could just fly up there, just pop in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he wasn't initially going to invite me, and a buddy of his, it was just like, oh, you should invite Sid, and he was just like, oh, okay, and then he just like kind of floated it out there. Like KO and I are close, I feel.
Yeah, you're like internet close though.
Yeah, well, like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like we vibe,
Yeah.
Like
To
we
be
don't
fair,
interact.
I don't know who wouldn't vibe with KO.
Yeah.
He's pretty easy. Like he's a pretty easygoing person.
Yeah, unless they're like one of those people that wouldn't vibe with KO. Like the type of person.
Oh, you'd have to be a real asshole. I don't even.
You have to be a self checkout place. At Trey's
you would have to
local
be
store.
like only like the self checkout robot that yells at you would not get along with KO.
It would not get along with KO. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I made the hour and a half trek, and it was like a group of 11 dudes. We just like went to KO's house, and it was
11 dudes. Wow, that's like, dude, we're getting into elementary school party size territory. Goddamn.
Like it was interesting because like he has a group catered to like Melee or like gaming.
Right.
And like that live in town, and they're in their mid-20s, and they
dude, that is so nice to have.
Right?
That.
Like I never had that.
I feel like I'm just like sort of in my own little place right now.
Yeah, like growing up, I had like my small group of friends. Like in high school, I was just kind of like middle of the pack, like not unpopular, not popular, but I was like I went to parties and stuff, but I wasn't like really close with everybody. And then he has this like squad.
Dude, KO has it made.
Yeah, and it was a nice vibe to like enter. And I brought I bake, so I brought the cookies.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's how you do it.
And I gave out the cookies, and everybody loved the cookies. And we played like a little bit of Melee. I actually turned on Sunshine at some point.
Show off your skills a little bit.
Well, no, he didn't have a save file that I could do anything with.
So you could just go do an 80% run really quick.
Yeah, just do an 80% run real quick. And he we went out to like I stayed there for a few days. We went partying on Saturday night, but I stayed.
Yeah, by the way, guys, if you noticed a slight downgrade in the timestamp quality in the previous episode, Sid was out clubbing, and he's like, hey, man, I'm not going to get around to those tags and stuff. I'm like, hey, don't worry, man, I got you.
That's why I DM'd like earlier, like when on Friday morning, I was just like, when can I have this? Like, when can I have the video early? And you're just like, oh, like...
we're still waiting on Lego's gameplay, so it'll be, later.
It's going to be some time. And then you DM'd me like as I was at KO's, and I was just like, there's no shot this is getting done. Yeah,
like, I understand. And I was like, yeah, fucking I'll do it, whatever.
Yeah, I literally DM'd you like when I got home, but when I got back to like Joey's place after the club.
Classic Joey.
and I was just like, there's no way. And you're just like, yeah, okay, I did it. And I'm like, perfect.
Wait, let me find your poorly typed message. Let me see. It was like, I will not be able to timestamp moat likely out at the club RN as I type this lol.
True.
And I said fug clubman. So
yeah.
There you go.
It was interesting being at the club. Like it's interesting, like coming back to like regular COVID, like protocols and stuff. Like I went out there.
Regular, like doing the stuff to prevent COVID? Or
like put it on a mask and stuff. Like over there, like the only remembrance that I had or like hint towards it was like, oh, the waiters were wearing masks. So like we went to 3 different restaurants and the waiters were in masks, and that was kind of it. And
I mean, it's hard to wear a mask when you're eating food.
True. And but like obviously out to the club we didn't wear a mask, like packed dance floor and stuff. I'm perfectly fine.
Oh yeah. When you're out at the club, you're like, I'm taking the risk.
Yeah. And so yeah, it was just like a whole weekend, and it's a very cool group of guys. I don't often drink, but I drank on Saturday night. Obviously, you don't not, and then
you don't not,
but I try not to drink all that much, so it's very.
You didn't drink like crazy a lot.
Oh no,
okay.
I actually I was quite proud of what level I kept at
on the video games are hard difficulty scale. How drunk did you get?
I was like Zealot.
Ooh, okay, 7, not bad.
Yeah, it's about a 7.
Zealot.
Well, like, what does drunk mean? Like, I was slick.
Okay, so we're saying like God Maldening mode is you passed out.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I was like free spirit to an extent.
That's good. That's good.
Like really, really giggly.
Yeah, I like to reach that level. The problem is occasionally when I do that, I forget to stop drinking.
Yeah.
And that's when it fucks me up. Like,
see,
it's easy when you're sober to be like, okay, I know exactly when to stop. But when you're in that place, you're like, I'm just gonna keep drinking. It's like, fuck.
well, it's a lot easier when like there's a paywall between you and the
True.
liquor.
Yeah, when you're like in a hotel room and it's just all there, you're like, well,
Yeah.
shit, okay.
It's like, okay, well, I got a 24. Let's just keep going. And it's just like, well, here's a vodka cranberry.
It's like, I don't want this to go to waste. So I mean, you know.
But yeah, it was a nice vibe. It was definitely really cool because this is the first time I've ever been called Sid, like in real life, like genuinely.
Oh, dude, I remember that feeling of being called Trey for the first time in real life, and also just like in general, like SM Loader is like my one friend who just like being called Trey IRL. It's so weird, but
yeah. But like I got used to it real quick. Like I introduced myself as my like real name, and everybody's just like, "Your name isn't Sid?" And I'm like, "No." And
like my name isn't Sid, but you can call me Sid. And you're like,
yeah,
all right.
You can call me Sid. And it was refreshing because everybody was just like a gamer there, and then like everybody plays Melee or like Tekken or whatever. And we talked to like the waiter about gaming at one of the vegan places. I ate vegan for the first time, which was cool.
You've never not had meat in a meal before?
Well, I've never gone to a vegan place.
Okay.
And because two of their group is vegan, so they just kind of like, oh, for lunch we're going to go to a vegan place, and it was amazing. It was so good that like for a second I'm just like, am I being like I legit did the typical like, am I being trolled? Like I'm at KO's birthday party. We're at a place that I don't know. I'm being told it's vegan. Is it actually vegan? Is this
but like what did you order?
I ordered chicken wraps. Legit.
Oh, so it's like the fake meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like
I was
on
wondering,
the menu.
I was confused why you'd be so surprised that not good non-meat food exists.
Yeah.
But you meant like the fake meat food. Okay.
Yeah, we're just like, I'm ordering like what is it, a chicken Caesar wrap or whatever kind of burger, and I'm just looking at the menu. I'm like, it says beef, like it says these words, and it tastes really good. Like,
so it was all made in a lab.
It was all made in a lab. Yeah,
that's sick.
And then brought out to us. But
I've always said that like if they make lab grown meat and stuff taste exactly like the regular thing, it's like, yeah, I'll go with that.
But it's really interesting going with that group because like one of them is like vegan for 6 years, and another one it wants to become a bodybuilder, like and eats meat, and then like yeah. And it's an eclectic group for sure. And so like I talked to the Joey, who's the vegan, who I talked to him about like becoming vegan or whatever. Dude, doing the podcast has made conversation so easy. I've gotten so much better at listening to people.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like I was basically just asking questions and hanging out, and it was a really cool vibe for the weekend. But yeah, so I was talking to him about that, and then like the day after I was talking to Mello about him becoming a bodybuilder, and like he's about my height but like 10 pounds or about like 10 pounds heavier than my trimmist, but he's like 30 pounds lighter than me and right now, and he's like he has no interest in becoming vegan, but he there would be no feasible way for him to like, or like it would be very difficult for him to become a bodybuilder if he went vegan. So like I was just kind of like asking questions, and I got I don't know. It was a very informative weekend for me, just in general, like learning about their group, learning about just like what their interests are.
Were they like as into Melee as KO?
Well, some of them like actively play still for sure.
Oh, okay.
KO's so retired.
Even more than KO because KO quit.
Yeah, KO's retired, but he still like hangs out in the group because they're like friends since whatever. But yeah, it was a really cool vibe. I've never had like that kind of group, so it was nice to like just kind of step in and them to be very welcoming to me. Like they were just like, "Oh, Sid, like I've heard of you," and then And they're just like, oh, you're like, you add the amount of times I was complimented for like how well I fit in there was a lot. And
Canadians are polite. That's expected.
I guess. Yeah. It's just like, well, let's just make them feel local. But yeah, so that was that weekend, and it was really cool. And yeah,
cool.
That was the KO weekend.
I'm glad it was a positive experience.
Yeah, happy birthday to KO for sure.
His birthday's on April Fool's Day, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, nobody believes him.
I just want to dude, why would you willingly decide to be born on April Fool's Day?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, come on, KO. Why you couldn't have waited a day? It's kind of an important day, KO. Come on.
Yeah,
how insensitive.
It's an important day for lying.
Yeah, seriously.
Mm-hmm. So, where do we want to go from here?
Well, I got a few things. I guess I will quickly, keyword being quickly, wrap up Elden Ring thoughts.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, so I beat Elden Ring. It
Nice.
was great. I really enjoyed it. Had a wonderful time. Put about 130 hours into it. There is a boss fight, the notorious hardest boss in the game. And you know what, Sid?
Sure.
I failed. I have failed as a gamer.
Okay.
I did not beat that boss fight.
Oh, you didn't?
The optional hardest boss in the game, Melania, I couldn't do it.
Okay.
I gave it a couple hours, and in my mind, I knew if I put a lot more time into it, I could eventually do it.
Sure.
But the build I was using was not very conducive to that fight, which held me back significantly.
Mm-hmm.
And any viable weapon that I actually fully upgraded that I could have used was just not good for that fight. And okay, but there is one thing that I'm very proud of, because after I gave up, I was like, okay, fuck. You know what? I rage quit so hard that I returned to playing SMS.
Oh shit.
And I tweeted it out too. I'm like, you know what? I quit this boss so hard. I'm playing SMS again. You know what? Fuck it.
So where is this optional boss? Is just like in the environment, or like
it's in this area that's like you can totally just skip entirely. Like you don't need to do it to beat the game. Or like it's not like relevant to the main MacGuffins to beat the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil you if you eventually get to it.
No, that's fine. I was just trying to figure out, like, you've beaten the game, but this optional boss you've skipped.
I just gave, I could have eventually done it, but I was like, eh. But there was one thing I was proud of, was the most bullshit attack that Melania has, where she the best way to describe it is like an AoE. She literally envelops herself with a flurry of sword swipes that are unavoidable.
Sure.
And she does it 4 times in a row,
Mm-hmm.
charging into you. The only way to feasibly avoid the whole thing, which I actually figured out on my own, and I thought it was so stupid, there's no way this is the optimal strategy. You run away as she's charging it up. The first 2, as she's chasing you, will not reach you. You roll through the 3rd one, and then roll sideways for the 4th one.
Uh-huh.
And I actually figured that out on my own. I looked up on the Elder Scrolls.
The Elden Scrolls, yes.
On the Elden Scrolls wiki, the exact thing I was doing, they said, was the optimal way to dodge it. I was like, oh shit, I'm a genius. Holy fuck.
Okay, cool.
But even then, every time she hits you, she heals for a little bit. And it's just very tilting. And I was like, fuck those.
Sure.
But yeah, otherwise, very great game.
A lot of fun.
I got out of it all I wanted to for now. I might play it again someday in the future. I'm just kind of a little from softy burnt out, I guess you could say.
Oh, for sure. What? It was your main. You every night you came home, I saw just okay, Trey's playing Elden Ring, and I was just I'm not surprised.
I was on that grind for a month. But yeah, it was a nice break from SMS, which I got back into. I'm doing 80% again. So
before we leave Elden Ring, how many hours?
Oh, I already said 130.
Oh yeah, 30. Okay, so you have 100 more than me.
It took me 115 for my quote unquote playthrough.
Sure.
I could have been it faster. I was just doing all the extra stuff that I could.
Yeah, I did notice that after you were just oh, I beat Elden Ring, and I was like, GG's. The next 2 nights was still oh,
yeah, it's he's still playing it.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do more, I would definitely do a magic only playthrough or something.
Sure.
Next. I never really given exclusive magic builds a chance in these games before.
Yeah.
but that's what I would definitely do next if I did do that.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, like the remaining, like the final 4 or so bosses you play in the playthrough were all very difficult. They all took me like a decent chunk of time to beat. The final boss, the final form of the final boss has this one attack that I swear is impossible to fully dodge.
Okay.
The only way I was able to do it was to use a certain thing in my wondrous flask of physic where like for a short period of time getting hit actually heals you.
Okay.
For like 5 seconds or so. Like I had to use that skill during that one attack. Otherwise I was like, I'm just going to die to it. So I guess I couldn't figure that one out. But with that workaround, I was able to beat it and beat the game. So
cool. That's some dedication. I have not really touched the game since we last talked about it. Well, you're talking about like replaying it with magic. I've never replayed any of the games. I don't think I've beaten Dark Souls 1 a second time. But
I think that if I were to replay a Souls game, I would do DS1 again because I feel like, first of all, when I first played it, it was my first one ever. It took me so long to do because I was like an Omega scrub.
Just imagine the difference in like skill.
Yeah, I would not only be able to get through it a lot quicker, but I would also find more of the secrets. The painted world, first of all, I would do.
Oh, yeah.
And I would just do more of the extra stuff. So
and Monarch Butterfly wouldn't be the Midnight Butterfly.
Moonlight Butterfly.
Moonlight Butterfly wouldn't be the hardest boss.
Yeah. Let's just say it took me 3 hours because when I was fighting it, I didn't even know that rolling gave you iframes.
I would love for you to like record your rematch against the Moonlight Butterfly.
I'd probably first try it, no problem.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see that.
Because I didn't realize that rolling didn't give you iframes, I had to like MacGyver my way into dodging his lasers he shoots at you.
Yeah.
Because the little like narrow path you're on, it has these railings on each side.
Yeah.
So I would time it to where when the laser's about to hit me, I would roll against the railing so the laser it hits the railing instead of me.
Oh.
And it worked like 90% of the time. Occasionally it would pass through and get me, but
yeah.
It was very jank. So
no, that's cool. But I've never replayed and been like interested in doing magic or whatever. I'm so basic when it's just like when it comes to those games where it's just like give me a sword and a shield, I'm fine. Like,
yeah, like you don't want to like mess around with like experimenting with all this bullshit. You're
I don't know how much time. I don't know how much time I want to dedicate to this game, and I don't really want to. Like I just kind of want to go. Let it go.
Did you watch that King K video on Elden Ring, by the way?
Oh, I didn't yet. No. Because
his thoughts on it might be part of why you haven't been like super passionate about playing it recently.
Sure.
You
did say that when you linked the King K video, you're just like, are you the same person?
Yeah, he's like, he not only did he mention like the being overwhelmed with like all the different builds and stuff, and like he also does what you do, where like he plays like a pretty traditional sword and shield style.
Yeah.
But he had to be in the right mental space, and he said, back when I played the original Souls games, I was all up for that challenge of like doing the same thing over and over again and eventually learning. But right now, I'm more of like in a casual vibe. I wanted to sort of like,
oh, for sure,
not have to like my current life is stressful enough, and this game would just add more stress to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about like the mood you're in to play a game, for sure.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because like the only game I've really been playing isn't like I haven't really touched Slay the Spire. I've really, outside of playing Sunshine on stream or just like watching YouTube or whatever, I've been playing Sims 2.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just want to chill out.
Just like ultra cash, like nothing like super matters. If things happen, they happen, and then you just kind of go off. It's not like, oh, you're dead and then replay.
Yeah, or Stardew Valley.
Or Stardew Valley, yeah. Well, you did use the video. Rutira and I actually did speedruns of it one day.
Ooh, so you're taking a casual thing and making it serious business.
See, but like you say serious business, the video that you took from, it was a drunk stream.
Oh yeah, no, serious business.
So we it was our last Stardew Sunday. Stardew Sunday's done for now.
You know what? I will. You covered up the drunkenness really well because watching the muted VOD, I couldn't tell you were drunk. So
Yeah, well, you could see every so often. So if you go through the VOD itself, you'll see me pouring. You'll see me pouring Coors Light into a glass. So you can kind of tell.
Coors Light. Oh man.
Yeah.
Dude, don't get carried away here, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I don't. But I don't drink all that much. So like, and it was before like the club this past weekend. So like, it's just a totally different thing. But we were doing Stardew Sunday from like, I think October or November to I guess in March, like the beginning of March. Like before,
it lasted for a fair bit.
Yeah, before bingo started. It was like the week before bingo we stopped because Radhira does the is heavily involved in restreaming and stuff, and like we commentate. Yeah. So she didn't want to like have her Sundays packed up, and I'm just like, oh, that's totally fine. Let's just make it a last Sunday. So our last Sunday we made just speed running. What was it? The craft room of the community center of Stardew Valley. So if anybody knows that, it's just like you are just collecting the forageables and things within the first like year of Stardew Valley, and the world record's like 26 minutes or something, and we ended up getting 38 or something like
not
that.
Bad. That's less than double the time.
But yeah, we were just like like going into it, she was just like she went through the notes, just like, okay, we got to do this and this and this. I'm just like, but aren't we drinking? Like, is this like, what's the vibe here? Like, am I supposed to be stressed out about what we're doing, or am I chilling out and like chopping down trees and then being like, oh, we forgot something? Like, what's the? But it was a really fun thing, and you took the VOD from it. You just said Sid playing Stardew Valley.
Sid playing Stardew Williams.
I'm playing myself.
And I don't typically put like, Sid playing like with this person. I just put like, they're playing this.
Yeah. But
because I could say Lego playing Guild Wars 2 with like 100 other people. It's like, it doesn't really work. So
yeah. I did watch a little bit of the Guild, but yeah, we finished up Stardew Valley. We were talking about like doing another game on Sundays when bingo's over, but we don't know yet.
When are we gonna play the forest? Because I finished Elden Ring. I am down for the forest whenever.
When are we gonna play forest?
Maybe KO's down. Maybe Dap Yi might be down. Quan's down.
I think I might be like the person that has to like figure it out.
Are you busy with? You're busy with Sidathon prep, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm prepping
that's your top priority, Sidathon.
Yeah, totally. Sidathon's really like.
In fact, I think it's like next week, right?
Yeah, coming up. It's like close. It's for sure.
It's really close.
Yeah, I'll have to go into the B for. It's a B for B. It's still called the B for B group, but.
But that game breaks your computer, so we can't do that anymore.
I'll have to go into the forest talk and like, because it's like, oh, who is it? It's like Pinkish, me, you, a couple, like KO's friend,
Modest Tomato.
Modest Tomato.
Yeah,
like we have a squad that's we're trying to figure out when to do the forest, but we've also not talked about it for a month and a half. So
yeah, because for a month and a half, I was like, I want to only do Elden Ring.
Yeah,
and then I'm done with it. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm ready. Where did everyone go? Guys, I'm done. I'm here. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a thing that's on the plate. To play the forest.
Eventually.
Yeah.
After everything before Control, of course.
Yeah, you mentioned Sidathon. Sidathon is on back burner extreme. It's tough to like focus so many games.
Yeah, it's so many games too.
It's so many games. Like we're talking about adding the Stardew Valley run to the Sidathon because I've technically done a run of it now.
Well, it's a short one, so
it's only like 40 minutes, so it's fine, like at worst. But trying to spread yourself thin enough and get decent enough at all these games feels like so.
I think you need to dig
effort.
deep and remember what was the reason you wanted to do Sidathon in the first place again?
I was memeing about it on stream.
Oh, okay, that's a good reason. Memes are good.
Yeah, that's
all the reason you need.
That's the most important reason to do anything. Just the memes.
Do it for the meme.
Do it for the meme. But yeah, it's just so many games that I actually haven't played in like a month or two now. I'm gonna have to like get back into Vanquish and stuff.
Yeah,
I just
you're
need to
probably rusty at Vanquish.
After next week, I just need to like buckle down for like 3 weeks and just like go through each and every game, and hopefully get it done by like May. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Like, I don't know, but yeah, you mentioned that, but like also in my head, I'm like, I should do bingo prep because I'm in the bingo league. We're like 3 weeks in. I've done 2 matches. I need to do 3 matches in the next 2 weeks. I'm playing Ombo on Saturday. Well,
Mambo?
So, yeah, Embouchure.
Embouchure. Okay.
I'm playing him on Saturday night. So when this comes out on Sunday, the match will be over, and I would have won or lost. Apparently, it's a boomer match.
Congrats on your victory, Sid.
Thanks, man.
I hope this ages well.
I hope it ages well too. I don't want to be 0-3. Not a big fan of that, but hey, I'm from season 2. I'm used to it.
Season 2, yeah, was not our finest moment.
No, definitely not.
But we gave it our all. We didn't even do that.
Yeah, no, we did not. Much to Ramato's chagrin, we did not.
We quarter-assed it. That's what I always do.
But I also want to. I turned on Sunshine the other day after I got home from KOs. I was just like, what do I want to do? And I was just like, I don't really feel like doing hundos. I don't really feel like doing whatever. I just turned on the game and I'm like, I'm gonna learn 120 again.
Woo!
So I'm back into that. Eventually, I'll sidetrack myself with something for sure, instead of just collecting all 240 blue coins. So
what is your process for learning 120 right now?
I'm going through ILs. I need to learn. I need to figure out a route. Go through a spreadsheet.
The route is much easier to memorize than True All Hundos. I'll give you that much.
Oh, somebody was telling me, it's just like, oh, so I was talking because I golded in 96 shines. I golded Gelato 100s, Bianca 100s, and Serena 100s all in the same run. All in the same run.
That's crazy.
And I was just like, oh, that's really sick. And I was just like, and then I bungled 8 red coins and Serena 8. And I got like a 413 time. It wasn't too great. Oof. And I was just like, 100 coin routes, easy peasy. 8, hard as shit.
I mean, and then, 413, that's not like...
No.
That's not like horror bad. It's like, it's pretty bad, but like not the worst thing ever.
That horror bad is number 4 on the difficulty scale.
Yeah. Wait, is it difficulty or goodness, quality?
I don't know. Horror bad.
4 is horror bad.
But yeah, so and then somebody in the chat was just like, okay, so 8 red coins, sure. 100 coins, sure. What about 240? And I was just like, oh yeah, blue coins.
Ooh, 240 coins. I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know if I can route 240.
6,300 coins. Yes, I can do that.
63. What is it? 6,312 coins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. 240 separate coins. Ugh. Throughout the entire run? Gross. Get me out of this.
Oh, hey, you get to learn some slightly new hundos. I mean, the hundos with blue coins routed in are kind of new. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are pretty fun.
And it would be good for like bingo and stuff, but I also want to learn like niche categories so that I don't have to play 96 all the time. Like if I'm streaming, I'm just like, oh, 96. Should I do another 96 or 90%? And now I've been like sidestepping into like all plaza blues or like the niche categories that you meme about, or like everybody memes about, really. And
because they are memes.
Yeah, because they're memes.
But they're fun.
Like,
they're fun memes.
Yeah, they're refreshing to like do a 96 run, and then I'm like, okay, well that was exhausting. I need a break. Or like a warm up, be like a 10-minute category or whatever, instead of like, oh, I'm gonna run around and do pin at 8 for 3 minutes. I guess I'll do a 96 run. Like, I don't know. It's good to do different things within the game.
I have thought about doing Ride the Yoshi again since my run back in 2014.
Yeah.
Which I still, like my PB, it was like a race with Rubber Ducky Assassin. And it was a custom-made route that was a terrible route. A
Terabad.
Terabad route.
Horribad.
So I could probably improve that.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on if I want to or not. So
yeah, that's a lot of the meme categories. It's like, oh, I can improve that. Yeah. But like, do I invest the same amount of time as I would in?
It's like how much do I care really? Yeah. Do I do more than one run? I don't know.
Dude, how much do I care? It like spans so many different, like how much do I care about the speed game? How much do I care about how much do I care about casually playing Elden Ring? How much do I care about just like putting all of your eggs in separate baskets?
And you know what? Right now, I really care about any percent sunshine.
What? Why?
Because I want to get a better 114, my dude.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And I don't know. My SOB, it just keeps going down every stream. It's like a 112.19 now.
Sure.
My movement is like the best it's ever been. I can feel the consistency starting to pick up. Like, I feel like I'm getting more consistent at like pulling off the difficult stuff I've learned more recently.
Sure.
But I have not gained consistency in the avoiding stupid mistakes department. Okay. Because I will just like lose runs to like the dumbest things that shouldn't happen when overall I'm playing much better than I used to.
Is it a lose focus thing?
No, I think it's just your fingers flub, you know? You got those finger flubs.
I hate the classic finger flubs.
I'm currently going through like a pin of 4 curse where something always seems to go wrong somehow.
Really?
I mean, we've all had those, right?
Yeah.
Where like the turtles just don't cooperate, or like, oh, God forbid I was 1 centimeter too far this way, so it didn't manipulate them properly. Stuff like that. But like, yeah, like couple streams ago, I got a 115 even, my second best run ever. Mm-hmm. In the same stream, I was minus 20 in Bianco 6 until I died at the top in a really dumb way.
No.
So, I'm just saying, like, I think it's a matter of time, either next stream or 3 months from now.
Yeah. Before
a really good run happens. But, you know, I'm hopeful right now. With my recent performance, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I currently... So before Elden Ring playing of Elden Ring,
sure.
I was doing like 1 stream a week. It was like 5 hours of attempts, 1 hour of King Boo grind. Uh-huh. I have a new method now where I do 2 streams a week, but they're shorter, more like 3 to 4 hours of attempts and then an hour of King Boo. Mm-hmm. So not only do I get double the King Boo each week, but that's important.
Yeah,
but
that's
also,
super important.
I think I tend to play better towards the beginning of my streams and like taper off as it goes on.
Okay.
So if I maximize the quantity of like early stream attempts, like double it, then I think 2 streams, 3 to 4 hours is superior to 1 5-hour stream.
Sure.
So that's my current plan. And you know what? On the Sambu episode, I mentioned, okay, I'm going to be super serious, not going to play any casual games. I lied. I couldn't totally give up casual gaming. It was a bit of an exaggeration. But I am like, the main focus is Sunshine, but I will have some casual stuff. Typically going to play it like after work when I wouldn't have time for attempts anyway. Uh-huh. And I've been playing Bug Fables, actually.
The KO wreck.
Oh, did KO wreck this?
Yeah, during
he did. Yeah.
During the top 10 pod, he didn't, like, when he was just like, oh, I'm gonna say my favorite game of all time. I recommend Bug Fables. And it's just like, oh, what?
And you're like, what does Bug Fables have to do with this?
Wait, why are you recommending Bug Fables all of a sudden? It's like,
well, you know what? I understand now why he recommended that, because to describe this game, it's a bug-themed paper-like game.
Okay.
You know, there's Souls-like games. This is a paper-like game.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Because it's very, very much in the vein of TTYD. You know, you win a battle, it's turn-based, it's very low basic numbers. Like, you have an attack of 3. They have like 1, 2, or 3 defense. You get star points, which they call like exploration points in this game. Uh-huh. It's similar to how Elden Ring has like, it's not bonfire, it's grace site. It's not souls, it's runes. It's kind of like that, like very similar mechanics, just name different things.
Sure.
Which is good because for some reason, I'm a huge sucker for the Paper Mario, like OG Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door style of gameplay. Mm-hmm. Hence why TTYD is my favorite game of all time, supposedly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just, I think I'm at like chapter 4 right now. I'm in some like desert temple in that game. And as far as the differences to TTYD is that TTYD, you always have a party of 2 people. It's Mario and then someone else. And there's like 7 party members you can cycle through. In this game, at least so far, you have 3 party members. And in battle, you have them all out at the same time. So it's like a 3 party member battle system which is quite a bit different than like the 2-party member system.
Sure.
Although so far it's only those 3, which is cool because they all have their own unique strengths and weaknesses. You have Kabu, who's a stink bug, who he can like have some piercing of defense. He's like a very ground-based attacker. Also like probably the tankiest unit you have. You have Leaf, who's like the mage essentially. And he has like ice-based attacks. He can like freeze enemies pretty frequently.
Okay.
Then you have V, spelled V-I, who's a bee. V the bee, who's a bee.
Wow.
And,
V the bee's a bee? Oh,
V the bee's a bee.
Okay.
And she's like very good for hitting aerial enemies. She has like a boomerang and can throw them at aerial stuff to knock them down.
Okay.
And they each have their own personalities. Like Kabu is like very valiant, very like, yes, with honor, I will do this. It's like to an extreme, like to where it's kind of funny though. Like it's so extremely honorable that it's like it loops back into being funny. And then Leaf is kind of like, yeah, whatever. You know, he's very like cynical, very just like low key, but also kind of mysterious because he's like, there's some like hidden force inside him. And you actually like discover him in chapter 1 in a cave tied up by a spider web. And you save him from there. And he's like, he has like some ancient power. He's been like alive for decades or something. I got to figure out his secrets as the game goes on. Then you have V, who's like very boisterous, very like, okay, we solved your issue. Now where's our reward? You know, like one of those kind of annoying, but like also like a lovable annoying in a way.
Yeah, that's cute.
But yeah, like all like 3 of them, all great characters, and you meet all kinds of bugs. And yeah, it's like it's like a much more upbeat Hollow Knight for sure. So,
okay.
Hollow Knight, it's like kind of dreary and depressing. This game, it's like, oh, it's all bright and colorful, but like also there's threatening enemies like scorpions and stuff that'll fuck you up. So.
Is this game difficult?
It's funny you asked that. And you know what? Here is quite possibly the most ingenious part of this game, and it's introduced like frame 1 of the game.
Sure.
So like right when you start out, and also this game has a badge system just like T2ID, where like you can equip badges, they're varying badge points, like the more badge points it takes to equip, the better it generally is.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you can equip an HP plus for 2 badge points, and it increases one party member's HP by a couple points.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. And a badge you start out with is the hard mode badge.
Oh.
And it's called the hard, or I think it's just called hard mode. It's worth 0 badge points, so it's free to equip or unequip.
Cool.
And what it does is, when you equip it, it makes it so that all the enemies they have a bit more HP, they do a bit more attack, just slightly raise their stats a bit. But when you use it, you gain more experience from them.
Okay.
So it's like a risk reward. Should I be on easy mode now to get less experience but not die as easily? Or should I put on hard mode, get a little more experience on the way, but like risk taking a lot more damage?
Okay. How much of your playthrough has had the hard mode badge on?
Well, the entirety of chapter 1, I exclusively had it on because it was pretty easy.
Sure.
But as it goes on, like getting into 2 and 3, definitely there were moments where I was like, if I keep this thing equipped, I'm going to die so fast because they just do so much damage. I have to like unequip it.
Yeah. So did you?
Yeah, occasionally. So I'm a pussy.
Okay. I'm just asking.
I think I've had it on for like probably 80% of the playthrough. But there are moments where like I'm very far into like a cave or an area full of enemies, and I'm like, I kind of want to just get through here safely, so I'm going to unequip it and just like sort of get through here. And also, it's pointless to have it on once you're leveled up to the point where an enemy will not give you more than 1 experience point.
Sure.
Because like the max is going to be 1, whether it's hard or easy, so just might not be easy. And then also, you get achievements for completing the main story boss fights on hard mode.
Mm-hmm.
So far I have done the first 3 main boss fights in hard mode successfully. And they were, honestly, with hard mode, they're quite difficult. I had to you really have to burn through your items to get enough TP, which is like mana essentially, to use like better attacks and like magic attacks and stuff. And I think the second boss, which I might be showing on the gameplay for this podcast episode,
sure,
took me like 3 attempts. Like it wasn't easy.
Dope.
And it is like definitely a game where you can't just sort of hoard your items. You kind of got to go through your items to survive because it's actually quite difficult.
Good.
But yeah, it's good. I think the difficulty, they nailed it. Even for a Paper Mario aficionado like myself, I think they handled the difficulty really well.
Mm-hmm.
Having that option of you can always be easy if you want, or do like the harder mode the whole time if you want, or somewhere in between. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the guarding system, it's also quite genius. Genius. I can't talk.
Genius, yeah.
It's quite genius because in Thousand Year Door, there was a system where you can do a regular block with the A button. It's a fairly wide window. It's pretty easy to get usually. And it subtracts the damage you take by 1 point.
Okay.
Or you can super guard with the B button. It's, I believe, a 3-frame window, so it's very tight.
Damn.
But you negate all the damage and in fact do 1 counter damage to the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do this insanely risky super guard, which you're probably going to miss unless you're cracked out of your mind.
Sure.
But this game, they have a much better system, I believe, where if you only do the A button, you could theoretically always get the super, I think it's just called like a super block, because you don't negate all the damage. Instead, if you time your guard better, it negates 2 instead of 1 damage.
Okay.
So it's always the same button. You can either block with fairly good timing to negate 1, or block with even better timing to negate 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like risk going for the better timing, and it's not even that risky, to negate even more damage. And as you fight certain enemies even more, you learn the timing better. You can block them even better. And honestly, I think they pretty much, they just like tweaked the systems of Thousand Year Door to be better in general in many ways, which I appreciate.
Fair.
That being said, I've played this, I've given a lot of praise to this game. There are other drawbacks, like it's sort of a little bit rough around the edges, as it is an indie game. It's going to have that. It's not like a AAA fucking Nintendo masterpiece or anything. One major flaw I discovered, I don't know how it's not patched out by now. There's a very easy soft lock to encounter in like the main town of the game.
Okay.
That I just like stumbled onto. There's literally a section where I'm trying to like set up like a mental image. So you can like bounce up to like a ledge that's sort of like on top of this building, essentially. So you're bouncing up, you're on top of a building, and from that building, there's a tree to the, like a weird shaped tree to the left of it. And normally you cannot get on top of this tree from the ground, but you can just like jump on top of it from the building, like pretty easily.
Okay.
And if you simply go onto the tree and then fall behind the tree, you cannot get out.
Oh.
You literally, like, I couldn't find I like fumbled around for like 5 minutes. I was just like stuck. So literally to soft lock, you just go behind this tree and you're trapped. It's like,
okay.
How did they not fix, like what? That seems like such an obvious thing to fix, but you know, there you go.
Can you save and exit?
And that's the thing, is you can only save at certain save locations.
Oh, so that's why it's a soft lock.
I actually lost like 30 minutes of progress with that soft lock.
Because you jumped behind a goddamn tree.
I jumped behind a goddamn tree. I lost 30 minutes of progress. I was a little bit pissed, but I was like, it's an indie game. It's going to be rough around the edges. It's fine. Yeah. So,
what platform are you playing on?
Just Steam.
Okay.
You probably even see me be like, "Oh, Trey's playing Bug Fables." Oh my god!
I don't sign into Steam. All I see is on Discord.
Okay.
Just like playing Bug Fables. So I'm just like, it could be Epic Games. It could be whatever. But
yeah, you know, it has that soft lock. But other than that, there are some. There was like a moment. This is like a very minor nitpick.
Sure.
But in the chapter I just beat, chapter 3, you're inside this beehive. I think it's just called the Hive. And it's kind of funny because it's like super, super highly advanced, like all this machinery and stuff. And there's like super high security, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they build up this character called the Overseer, who essentially oversees all the working bees and stuff. And they're like, we can't possibly get to this final room until because essentially like it gets locked down because something happens. And there's like a code 32 emergency. They got to lock everything down.
Yeah.
And like the Obama honeys, which are like evil packets of honey, get out. You got to fight.
Okay.
And so basically they're like, oh yeah, the overseer is the only way we can possibly undo this security lock and yada, yada, yada. And they build up the overseer for like an hour. It's like a big deal. And then you finally get to her and it's like, all right, we solved the issue. And then you can go back to her later. There's a feature in the game where you can like, I think it's like you hit select next to an NPC, and your characters are like, they sort of like describe the character like, oh, that's Frank. He's a skank.
Okay.
Like they'll describe the character that you do it next to, like, oh yeah, that's Bob. You know, he's really cool. Blah blah blah.
He's a slob.
On the overseer, this character they built up as like this really important person, they're like, that's the overseer. Yeah, we saved her, remember? And that's it.
And that's it.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, all that build up for just this? Okay. But yeah, great game though. I'm excited to play more of it. And that's all my second bug themed game I played this year. So there you go.
What was the first?
Hollow Knight.
Oh, Hollow Knight.
Yep.
I keep forgetting that's bugs. Like,
dude, I didn't even know it was bugs till I played it. So
well, like I know it's bugs. Like, I don't think of it as bugs. I think of it as like skulls. Like I think of their like helmets as like skulls, and then I'm just like, oh yeah, there's like the collectibles are worms, and then the other bugs are like bugs. But like the character that you play as, I don't even think of him as like a bug.
Yeah, this game it's definitely a lot more buggy than Scully. So
oh, for sure.
Like they lean into like the bug thing quite a bit.
How many hours?
Like 15 so far.
That's good.
I think because I'm gonna try to do like as many quests as I can. There's like all these little side quests you can do. I have no fucking idea. I'm gonna estimate my whole playthrough will take like 45 hours probably.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea how much extra content there might be. We'll see. So
yeah.
But good game.
All I've been doing, like casually, is playing Sims 2. So I had like a few months ago, I actually had Ratira help me set up Sims 2 and stuff. Like she does content creation for the Sims 2 community. Like,
is it weird to set up because it's kind of an old game?
It is super odd to set up because it's an old game. Because it's like on Origin, but it's like you can't buy it. You can only
you have
buy,
to like do some weird shit.
You can only buy Sims 4, I think, on Origin. So there's like some back routes that I had to like go through in order to download it and like download a custom launcher and like all of this rigmarole with the help of Rue. And like I've started actually playing the game, and I have no idea how many hours I have. Like it's not one of those games that keep track. But I have a fair bit where it's just like you boot up the game and play as. See, what's funny? Okay, so for a little bit of backstory, like when I was a kid, I played Sims 1. And
yeah, so you know your Sims stuff a little bit.
Sure. Like I played a fair bit of Sims 1 when I was like 8. Like I don't know what like I know this game came out in like 2004, Sims 2, but I don't know like when Sims 1 came out, but I remember being like a kid, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about Sims 1 was like building a house, right? Like making your sim was like a side a side piece, just like
I think like what else do you do in that game?
Well, like you make the sim, you make the person, or like make the family, and then you're just like, but that was like the wall that I had to get through in order to build my house. And then I was just like, I build my house, and then I'd earn money as the sim, and then I'd build a better house. And like I was really into architecture as a kid. I actually told this story fairly recently where in school, like I wanted to be an architect when I was a kid, and there's one school project that I really enjoyed. I don't know what you wanted to be when you were a kid, but it was like architect and pilot for me.
Dude, I legit had no idea what I was doing as a kid. I'm pretty sure I was like, I want to work at McDonald's because I like McDonald's.
That's dude, so innocent.
That'd be so tight to work. You could like have all the McDonald's you want, right? Like, that'd be tight. So I didn't know any better.
What an innocent thought. What a pure and innocent thought that is. It's like,
nothing wrong with, hey, McDonald's workers out there, we love you.
Yeah,
bring me more McDonald's, please. Right.
Hey, sponsored by McDonald's? ? Video games are hard.
It's not even a question mark. It's an exclamation point because it's true.
Woo! But yeah, I wanted to be an architect. I remember this one assignment when I was in like grade 6 where it was the one assignment that I like went home and did the first night, where it was just like
snap. And I know you're a chronic procrastinator. That's a big deal.
I do that kind of deal. But so it's just like we got this huge grid paper, and it was just like, okay, design a school. And I was just like, okay. So I got a 95% on it because I had a really weird classroom in it, but like I was so excited that I finished it like day one. And like that kind of deal. So like back to Sims 1, I would build the house and I'd be very into the building and stuff. But I hadn't, like, after Sims 1, I just kind of like never really interacted with it. I would play like Nintendo games and like what's the step-by-step Samu history? It's just like I had the Wii and then I had the Xbox 360 and I just kept going and I never like stopped to be like, oh, there's a sequel to Sims. And so this like reintroduction to Sims 2, and there's like a nice community that goes with it. There's a bunch of mods for it. There's like custom content. There's like everything. There's a lot of cool stuff that goes along with it. And I've been just, what's funny is that like, so with Sims 1, I was really into the building of the houses and stuff. Sims 2, I've been like, I'm trying to get back into the building the houses part. Like I have to like kind of force myself to do the building houses part. But we did talk about it a few times where it's just like, there's these, I never played as any of the pre-made Sims. There's these like Sims in the game that are just like, they have backstories already. They have relationships with one another already. And you can jump in and control them and be like, oh, who gets together, who gets together, in Sims you play with life. And
is there a pre-made Jesus character?
There's no pre-made Jesus character.
Like an XCOM 2?
No.
XCOM 2 had that too, where like they had all these pre-made, sort of like Sims, but just like, you know, random names, random appearances.
Sure. And you could like, yeah, well, it's just like they're just in the game and you could play as them. Yeah. And you can just establish deeper connections between certain characters, or like don't give a fuck and like have them go get a job, or like, just like stay at home and paint all day, or do whatever the fuck you want within this world, or like make your own and just like put them into the world and see how they mesh out. So that's been like sucking up most of my casual time. It's like the peak casual for me, at least, where it's just
I think the one thing more casual would be like Animal Crossing.
Maybe.
Possibly.
But it's just like for so long, it's like with Sunshine or with Elden Ring or with like difficulty games entirely. There is difficulty in Sims 2, so like I'm allowed to talk about Sims 2.
Oh yeah, don't get us wrong. All video games are hard.
Yeah,
you might equip the hard mode badge in Bug Fables,
or Sims 2.
You might go ham in Sims 2. Who knows?
Yeah, there are challenges that you can do in the game. I haven't done any of the challenges, but there's like one adult, 7 toddlers, where it's just like you're trying to get all the toddlers to get to become children without like child services becoming involved. Because like if you don't feed your kid or like have them just get like lose all their energy or whatever, and they're just like passed out on the floor, eventually you will be like notified by child services and they'll come and take your kids.
No.
And so like there is that like real world thing into it, and it's been brought to my attention that this challenge exists, and I'm like, I kind of want to like stream that one day, because I'm so bad at it's funny to go from like, oh, I'm amazing at Super Mario Sunshine, whatever, and then to play these like casual games, I'm like, I'm fucking terrible. Like what? It's so interesting to like.
Yeah, it's almost like you're better at a thing you put 5,000 hours into than a thing you just started doing.
True, but
isn't that weird?
Isn't my special skill like, oh, I naturally like play pretty well? Like,
yeah, you should be pretty good up from the get-go, but then
yeah, but
there's a lot of minutia to learn on top of that.
But it's just like there's hard there's like difficulty tiers in like the pre-mades where it's just like, oh, it's really easy to play Don Lothario. Maybe somebody's gonna know who that is, but it's just like the bachelor guy in town, and he just kind of has a job and he like just flirts with everybody or whatever, and it's just like a solo sim versus Brandy Broke, who's a pre-made with.
Is he broke?
she's broke. She lives in like a trailer, and she has 2 kids, and she has one on the way. And her husband,
why does her name have to be so on the nose?
And her husband's dead, and it's just like, and it's just like the difficulty like ramps up if you play certain pre-mates or like
I bet
houses.
It's a lot more difficult when you're Brandy broke versus Ricky rich.
Yeah, versus Ricky Rich for sure.
Ricky Rich just gets everything handed to him, and his wife's alive too. So it's like, damn.
You say Ricky Rich, there is a Pleasant family. their last name is Pleasant, and then and that kind of thing. But but like the fan base is pretty big. Like a lot of people like certain like characters within the Sims 2 stuff. Like I've been like quote unquote getting to know some of the characters, and it's been fun. But yeah, that's been where most of my times, like if I'm not streaming and I'm playing something, it's probably that. And just kind of.
So you're thinking of streaming Sims 2?
Yeah, I think I will one of these days. It'll be I've been memeing about it for like a week and a half. There is
I know you. Whenever you meme about something, you're gonna do it. So.
He says that, and I know it's a meme. But yeah, I think see, it's interesting. I was thinking about it yesterday. It's just like, it's hard to turn on a game as like open-ended as Sims 2 and make it like kind of not entertaining, but like I feel like it's so open-ended that you have to make a purpose, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, my goal is to do this within like during the stream or whatever. And so I think I might do like one of the challenges on stream or something.
That's honestly how I felt streaming Elden Ring. I'm like, I don't know if it'll be an interesting stream or not. Like, will I encounter cool bosses, or will I just be like roaming the world for like 3 hours?
See, that's like,
I don't know.
Like Sims 2 is an open world, but that's the thing about like open world games, or like things that games where you have like so much option.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you go in and just like, well, I don't know if anything interesting is going to happen. Like
this stream might be the lamest stream ever, but it might be amazing.
Yeah, so. But I might just like stumble upon mud crabs in Skyrim, or something more interesting in Skyrim. Who knows?
Are mud crabs interesting?
And then no, they're just kind of mud crabs.
Oh wait, I can picture them now. I've seen them. Yeah,
they just kind of waddle at you.
Yep.
And then you just shoot an arrow at them, and they're dead. But yeah, so that's been a lot of my time. I might one of these days, just like after sunshine. How do people stream for 8 hours, Trey?
I do not know.
It's tough.
You're literally asking the worst person for that question, because I'm even further in the end of like, I don't know how like Wilco does it or any full-time streamer does it. It's just crazy to me.
Like, I'd love to be able to. I'd love to do like boot up a stream, do a little bit of All Plaza Blues, do a 96 shine run, cool down with sunshine, play a different game. But then my energy level is low. Like I think we've like in season 1 we went into this quite a bit, but when you're streaming for like 8 hours, you have to be at least sort of care for 8 hours straight. Yeah, you have to be. You can't
just seem disinterested on your stream to your chat and stuff.
Yeah, do you know what? Oh, so I recorded the Serena Whenever tutorial.
Oh yeah, I was gonna watch that, but I was at work, so I couldn't actually watch it.
Cool. So I recorded that tutorial. I like every now and then it's referenced. So I have my second most viewed video on my YouTube is Serena Whenever quote unquote tutorial, and it's been poked fun at every now and then because it's like it doesn't go in depth at all, and it's just kind of like. And
also that one guy is like, I don't know, what buttons are you pressing?
I'm just like B. You just fucking press.
And so
B.
I meme replied. I was like, no input display, could not follow.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here. What is he doing?
So I made the tutorial as just kind of like out of the blue kind of thing. Hey, I didn't write anything down. I didn't write a script. It felt pretty good. Watching it back, it looked good. I could do that. I could if I learned how to edit something, I could make a YouTube video. Ooh. That sounds like when it goes from like Twitch to like to YouTube, it feels so much more focused on YouTube.
Yes, like on YouTube, you can literally do anything. On Twitch, it's like, well, whatever happens, happens. Whatever mood I'm in will be reflected. So
yeah, like you can't fake it.
Yeah, it takes a very different skill set and mindset and grind set, you know?
Like even from the 5-minute recording that I did for YouTube, I was just like, this feels just like so different.
This feels like cheating because I can just like redo this.
Well, yeah, also that. I was just at the beginning of the tutorial, I was just like, well, I'm not going to edit this. I'm just kind of going to talk for 5 minutes and see how it goes. So like, hopefully you'll learn how to do this trick. But I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I've never thought about doing YouTube ever. Like, obviously I don't like my most viewed YouTube video is the rip skip that has like 60,000 views for some reason because of the algorithm, which is a clip from our race 5 years ago. But I did that tutorial yesterday. I'm just like, I could do more of it. Like I could do more tutorial. I could do whatever.
Hey,
like
that's the thing is that you don't need views to start being a YouTuber.
No.
I mean, every YouTuber starts at 0.
Yeah.
And like, you gotta like make a few things. Maybe one of them pops off and then you just sort of build momentum from there.
Sure.
For me personally, for some reason, I've been just like unmotivated to make videos, and also I'm focused on 80% grinding.
Yeah.
I think it's possible that once I achieve a time I'm happy with in 80%, I might then gain the motivation to be like, "Oh, I'll make a video, whatever."
We should do the video we keep.
We should do the video before 2028.
We should do it.
That'd be hype.
That'd be so sick.
I'm still on the fence. You know, like that beach slide video.
The beach slide video
that I haven't mentioned like in months.
Sure.
I was gonna make a video about beach slide. I wrote a whole script. The script is done. It's this stupid ass video about the beach slide. And
why?
I have no ideas, Sid. Like that's the best idea I came up with.
Oh, you have no ideas.
No video ideas.
Instead of like, oh, I have no idea why I thought of it.
I have no idea except for I have no ideas. Like literally, like it seems like every video has already been made that like is good.
Sure.
So, like, you know what? We don't talk about beach slide enough. I'll make a video about that. And now I'm sitting here like, do my 50K subscribers give a fuck about this?
do they care about beach slide?
Yeah, it's like, dude, what the fuck?
Do you feel like
there's that part of me that's like, it's my channel. I could put whatever I want out there. But the part of me is like, is it like worth people's time? It's like a constant battle, you know?
Do you feel like your hands are tied somewhat because of how many subscribers you have?
A little bit. It's a stupid thing because it's easy to sit here and be like, I don't give a fuck. If they don't want to watch it, they just don't have to watch it.
Sure.
But then part of me is like, but I feel like I owe them something almost. It's weird. But,
yeah, I've heard that like that talked about, that thought bantied about with like Twitter followers.
Okay, I will say this one thing. It's a lot less pressure to put something out there the fewer subs you have.
Oh, for sure.
Like it's just fewer eyeballs immediately. It's like, oh, fucking put it out there.
Yeah. Well,
you feel like this inherent, like it has to be of like at least a certain quality or I won't put it out.
Did you feel like that with season 1 when it was being posted on your YouTube?
A little bit. I was like, I know that like most of my subscribers don't really care about this, but we got nowhere else to put it, so I'm just kind of doing it here.
Sure.
We made the right choice to like make this like a separate thing.
I'm glad we did too.
Yeah, like there was a brief period. It was like, I guess I could go on this channel, and you're like, nah, trust me.
Well, it's like, like thinking about it, it's like, oh yeah, well, it's gonna get more views on your YouTube, but like also to like separate it is a good idea. And then
I don't want to. And honestly, there is a weird thing where you don't really lose subscribers by not posting anything. No. People just kind of forget they're even subbed to you.
Yeah.
Like they're subbed to you, but like they're not gonna think to unsub because they're not like reminded of you constantly.
Yeah.
Whereas if you keep putting stuff out every week, they're like, oh yeah, this guy just puts podcasts down. I don't give a fuck about him. Unsub.
It also goes with Twitch that way too. It's like, oh, he hasn't streamed in 3 months. Oh, and then he streams like, oh yeah, I followed him like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm gonna unfollow.
Oh yeah, I used to watch this guy and I don't care anymore. Unfollow.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh, I have over 4,000 followers. Oh, I went live for the first time in a couple weeks and I lost followers. It's like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
It's funny to like even care because as time goes on, sub count matters even less and less.
Yeah,
but it's like it's still like the thought crosses your mind to be like, it's got to be like of a certain quality.
Like it's funny because we talk about Joseph Anderson and
Well, you talk about him a lot.
Yeah, like we talk about him a fair bit, and it's just like to us, he's like one of those bigger YouTubers, and he's just like is he at 700K yet? Like he's not even.
Yeah, he's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah, but like he's not at 700K, but like most of his videos get like he has some videos that have 10 million views, and it's just like, wow, like that's incredible.
That's a lot.
And that kind of thing, where it's just, but like sub count. It's like what is it mainly for advertisers kind of thing? It's just like they know that it'll get some sort of baseline views. Maybe.
I don't, dude. The algorithm doesn't give a fuck about subs, really. Yeah. I think it's just like an ego thing. Like, oh, my number's bigger.
Number bigger.
But like sub count itself doesn't equate to ad revenue.
For sure.
It's just like, whereas view count, it's like, oh, more views equals more money. But like more subs equals like maybe more potentially money, but maybe not. So yeah.
Yeah. To go back to my literally dipping my pinky toe into YouTube for like making that one tutorial. I'm just kind of like, I don't know how to edit.
Do you have like any editing software on your computer?
Yeah, but
what is the default? Like Windows comes with something still, right?
I don't know. I use Movie Studio.
It used to be called Windows Movie Maker, but at some point they changed it to something more generic sounding.
Sure.
So, I don't know.
More generic than Movie Maker?
They might have just removed the word Windows from it. It's just Movie Maker.
They call it Movie Maker.
Maybe it's just movie.
I bought some version like a few years ago that like changed hands at some point, and now it's called Movie Studio. Okay. And that's what I use for my my editing of like ILs and stuff, if I ever have to. And that's kind of all I do. But if I was to ever put effort, like you're talking about like your version of YouTube, it's like, oh, editing a masterpiece of a 20-minute video at the very least.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is that you can make like really interesting, really good videos with very, very minimal editing.
Oh yeah.
Like as long as it's just like a really good script and you just show like some basic visuals, like images even. That's really all you need, because sometimes many people out there don't even really watch the video. They just kind of have it up while they eat something, aka me.
Sure. So
it's like really the audio and what is being said is more important than what you're actually visually showing.
Yeah, like now.
I tend to forget that sometimes. I focus too much on like little details in my videos that like I'm sure 98% of people will miss entirely.
Sure.
So it's like I should probably focus less on the details, more on the big picture kind of thing.
Yeah, but there's some people that subscribe to you that are just like, you know what, that one.
Yeah,
little piece of
now they expect those details from me, so it's like I've locked myself in.
Your hands are tied by the number of subscribers you had, the amount of effort you've put into previous videos, and like,
it is funny. When I first one of like the first big comments, I forget. I want to say it was like Dylan, like the SSBB Tasser Dylan, who's in my chat sometimes.
Sure.
I don't know how to say his last name, so I refrain from it.
Okay.
It's like Stel something. It's very European.
Dylan Stelzig, yeah.
Dylan Stelzig. It might have been someone else, though. But either way, they posted a comment on the Indie Person History video being like, well, it's a wonderful video, but congrats on having the curse of people expecting a certain level of quality going forward. Yeah. And when I first got that comment, I kind of laughed it off like, oh, yeah, good, haha. But like he was right. He was 100% right. It's like they expect a little something each time I put something out. So it's like,
have you put out anything that makes people think, like, oh, that's not up to snuff? Like, has anybody reacted?
My videos are all they're all bangers.
Well, like, have you put out any video and any reaction be like, yeah, it's not as good as the 120 world record history video though? Like,
surprisingly, I haven't really gotten those comments.
Yeah. So
people are pretty like, at least like when it first goes up, people are pretty nice. And then like whatever stragglers come in like months down the road, like a random asshole is like, fuck yo, maybe not.
Why would you make an 8-minute video on pausing?
An 8-minute video about pausing. What the fuck?
What do you think? A made up time? What?
Wait, people make videos 8 minutes long? What is this?
What is this YouTube? And then you just like look like in your recommended, and it's like, oh,
and then I'm like, well, this one person made an 8-hour video about a TV show. So
yeah. It's like, hey, you catch as catch can, I guess. But what you got to do is like you put like, okay, make your beach slide video. Right, this is my recommendation. Make your beach slide video.
Yeah. Here's some words of wisdom. I will
Super high effort, like most effort you've ever put into a video. Okay.
Oh snap! What if I want to just fuck off and not do that?
Okay, but like, hear me out. Do that.
Okay.
It bleeds. It's the domino effect, and then like within a week after it, put out something, or maybe not a week. Like however much time you take, put out. You can't make your next video low effort.
That's the thing. And the longer you don't make a video, it only ups the standards.
Right.
So now I'm like, well, fuck, my next video has to be a fucking masterpiece now.
Exactly. So you got to make your next video. You can do it.
I can't just like put out, hey, you know that beach slide? It's pretty crazy, right?
Hey, we can do the video we've been talking about. That'll be the banger.
Maybe we should, Sid. Maybe we should.
That's a banger. We know it's a banger. We've talked about it for 3 years.
And you know what's also funny? I very recently put even more notes to talk about for that video.
Yeah.
Like in the last week. We are still accumulating stuff for that video.
Yeah. I'll do some like brainstorming and try to add some things, but like we have a pretty good baseline.
I think you're right, Sid.
So that has to be the next video.
I think that when season 2 of the podcast is over, we're going to episode 50. Yes. That'll be season 2.
Yeah.
9 more weeks of amazing me talking to Sid action.
Sure.
When that's over, and maybe even sooner, depending on whenever I complete, quote unquote, my 80% grind, I'll be 40 years old playing 80% this.
Yeah, it's insane.
But like, at some point, maybe we should get on that, and then maybe see if we can get it out before it's been an entire year since I posted a video.
What month?
October.
Oh, okay.
October was the spin jump video. I can't believe it's been that long already. It seems like yesterday. But honestly, it's not going to be that hard of a vid to make. We just had to do each of our separate voice lines.
Sure.
It's like a very like listy format. Like it shouldn't be hard to. I just gotta like think of a general theme of like a consistent. One thing I got to work on is throughout a video being more consistent in the style of the editing that I do.
Okay.
Because I kind of, throughout my videos, it kind of changes like with my mood. Like one day I'll be like more in I really want to like add more detail kind of mood. Then the next day it's like for the next minute, it's going to be a little more basic, a little more like different color scheme, just different. Like it seems like I use more crossfades than jump cuts.
Yeah, you're just in a totally different headspace.
I got to be like more
consistent,
more consistency in the editing style throughout a singular video.
Yeah,
kind of thing. So once I iron that out, I honestly don't believe it'll be that much work. Famous last words. But I think you're right. We should get around to that.
And then so that, and then like within 2 months of that, put out another video, but have it
the
like
beach
lower
slide
effort.
Video.
Or beach slide video, have it like lower effort.
Yeah,
but like what you want to establish as like maybe more of a baseline, so that everybody can expect like, oh, when there's an average Trey video, it's gonna be good no matter what, but there's different like levels of,
and also
attention to detail.
I think there's plenty of ideas to be had in Sunshine somehow. I just gotta like think of more non-Sunshine stuff I could do.
Oh, for sure.
Which is tough because it feels like any topic outside of Sunshine, I'm like, I don't have like the worthy expertise to talk about in a way. Yeah,
you just kind of have to ignore that.
I kind of just gotta own it. Take like the implement approach. Talk about fucking NASCAR.
Yeah, or Melee, or just like get. Because I remember when Emp Lemon put out the Melee video, like a lot of people in the Melee community is just like, he doesn't know jack all.
It's like he doesn't even know what a combo is. He doesn't even. It's like, come on.
Yeah. So you gotta. It's like you got your start with Summoning Salt, right? And or like Persuado like that.
And plenty of people accused me of being a Something Salt ripoff guy.
Exactly.
But, as time went on, it became more common to make videos like that, no matter who you are.
But it's funny when they call you a Something Salt ripoff guy. You got from the man himself. You got the
seal
go
of
ahead
approval.
Yeah, you got the go ahead.
Yeah,
and it's just
we hashed it out. Before when he only had 3 vids on his channel, I messaged him look, I'm making a Sunshine video. Is that cool? And he said, I was thinking of doing that soon. Maybe we can collab on it. We did collab on it. He dropped out because he's like, I haven't even played this game. Just fucking go ahead.
Yeah.
And then that's where it happened.
No, that's cool. But he doesn't have he doesn't have the expertise in all of the world record histories that he does.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I am strongly a firm believer in making one for the game that you run.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to have more knowledge than you. The game you run and you want to make a video, just go for it.
Yeah.
So
at this point, Summoning Salt's expertise is world record histories.
Yeah, that format at least.
Yeah. So if you want to foray into I have however many hours into FromSoft games and I have however many hours in TTYD.
It could be some totally off the wall, it could be about Rubik's Cubes.
Sure.
I have never once solved a Rubik's Cube.
Me neither.
But what if I just randomly posted a video the history of the 4x4 whatever category,
I tried for a week to solve a Rubik's Cube. This is how far I got. Or
trying to solve a Rubik's Cube with no tutorials.
Yeah, just okay. So my thought process was I was looking at the red.
I made this. I hear that making a cross is good. I don't know where to go from there though. Fun fact: we had a Rubik's Cube, 15 years ago, and I don't think we solved it a single time.
Yeah, same kind of deal. What's funny is that over the weekend at KO's, there's one of them has a Rubik's Cube, and he's just I'm pretty slow, but I have. I don't look at I don't figure out in algorithms. I use more my eyes, and I'm just watching him just figure it out, and it took him half a minute, and I'm just fuck.
Wait, no algorithms, just uses his eyes?
Yeah, I can't remember what exactly he said. It's he said that everybody uses algorithms, but he doesn't.
No way. He's hustling you big time.
I'm just I'm just looking. I don't think he's a hustler, bro. He's a vegan.
Yeah, okay. Do you bet $50 I can solve this with no algorithms, just using my eyeballs? Yeah, fuck yeah, that's impossible. What? Does it in 30 seconds. All right, $50. There you go.
All right, I did no math.
And then you're well, shit, I don't know what an algorithm even is, so I believe
I don't know
him.
what you mean by algorithm in this context.
I'm just gonna, he did use his eyeballs, so I trust him. So,
he seemed pretty focused on the Rubik's Cube. Here's $50.
If he used those algorithms, he could do it blindfolded, so I believe him. So.
But yeah, being able to foray into other things is definitely you have to be comfortable with it. With Twitter lately, I've been trying to post more, kind of.
I've been trying to post less. Fuck Twitter.
Well, I don't know. I there's something about Pinkish's ability to just kind of post whatever that I really appreciate.
I respect her not giving a fuck kind of approach.
Yeah.
Kind of laissez-faire approach. Not even laissez-faire, just fucking just put whatever out there.
Yeah.
But then a part of me is who would give a fuck about this?
It's just should I post videos of my dog? Should I put pictures of food that's disgusting or amazing?
I think that your thing should just be posting food that disgusts people.
That should just be my thing.
And everyone would love you for that.
Just okay, so I made this. So I made lasagna, all right? So it's I have the 3 layers of stuff, and I just have the cheese and the everything in between, and I have the spaghetti sauce in between. And then I'm okay, so I made it, and I'm serving it on my plate, and I'm just okay, I'm going to put some pickles in it. And then here's a picture of the pickles with the lasagna, and then just see how everybody kind of breaks.
So I made some lasagna, and all the layers are just a layer of cheese, a layer of peanut butter, a layer of cheese, a layer of peanut butter.
Oh, no.
And that's all it is. Wait, what do you think of that? You're oh, yeah, that's pretty gross. Yeah.
And then I put pickles on top.
And then pickles on top.
Go
just
for it.
Make every food with those 3 ingredients.
Oh,
there you go.
It's just like, oh, is it 2 lasagnas or 1 lasagna if I cut this peanut butter and cheese and pickle lasagna in half and then stack it on top? And then everybody just goes like, what the fuck is this?
The other day I made some peanut butter cookies. Oh yeah, also they had cheese and pickles on them.
Oh yeah. It's the
Can't forget
subtweet.
those.
It's the subtweet. It's just like, yeah, here's peanut butter pickles. And it's just like, oh, yeah, there's some pickles and cheese in there. That's just the response.
Brilliant.
But yeah.
Did you follow what was going on in our place by any chance?
I saw. Okay, what the fuck is our place?
Okay, so I remember the original Our Place. This was done before a few years ago. I want to say, I have no idea which year it was, 2014, 2015. I don't know. It was a while ago. It's this grid of pixels, and you can just go on there, color in any pixel you want, and there's like a 5-minute cooldown time before you can do it again.
Sure.
And it's just like a fun little social experiment. You can just go on. Maybe you want to build up the American flag if you're a real American. Because there's sort of like a war where it's like the Europeans wake up, they start like griefing the American flag. Americans wake up, they start like repairing it. And there's like all kinds of little like very finely detailed pixel art. A lot of it's very impressive. Like whole paintings will go on there because like they'll make whole subreddits dedicated to like only focusing on making this one thing like and preserving it the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a cool collaborative thing. Like one person alone cannot make much of a difference, but like together you can make a beautiful thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I followed it since day one and it was cool. And like it really picked up in traction as it went on. Like streamers started showing it off. Like XQC and stuff would just like be like, okay, everyone go to this one thing and like make this one picture. And it got pretty hectic when like streamers got involved.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to point out, I could say the usual stuff. Most people know what Our Place is. They've seen it. One thing that I guarantee 99.9% of people missed that was extremely impressive. I got to give a shout out to the subreddit Outer Wilds. You know Outer Wilds, the game that I played?
Yes.
So Outer Wilds, they had their own little section, like a tiny triangle of like an Outer Wilds logo. It was pretty well done.
Okay.
And that was cool. I was like, okay, cool, Outer Wilds, it's there. But something I noticed on, I believe, like day 3 of the Our Place experiment happening, the logo they had, it changed to like a supernova version of the logo.
Oh.
Which, not to spoil the game too much, but it's a game based on a time loop. And the time loop ends with a supernova each time. As it was wrapping up, they changed their logo to like a supernova thing as if it's like ending or something.
Yeah, and then it would restart. And
then furthermore, also Our Place ended with you can only place white pixels, and it whited out the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a funny way to end it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually like that whiting out ending perfectly encapsulates the exact ending of Outer Wilds each time loop.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, the supernova, like it whites out the whole thing. So like, honestly, I think Outer Wilds low key took the W in this experiment because it was like very, very good attention to detail that like anyone who didn't play the game wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah.
But Outer Wilds fans out there, I noticed it. So good job, everyone who was a part of that.
Did you beat Outer Wilds?
No.
Yeah, okay. I was just like, you said the people that have beaten it. I was just like, I'm pretty sure you said you didn't.
Or no, the people who have played it.
Yeah, okay.
Rather.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was basically like 2 seconds from beating it. I just like couldn't solve like the final thing. And I literally was just like, oh, I know the answer now. I'm not going to bother doing it.
Yeah. I saw a little bit of r/place. It was like on Twitter. I remember some people mentioning it, and then it was like recommended to me, and then I just kind of ignored it. When was it? It was like over the weekend.
It was like, it was all like last week.
All last week.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I think it lasted like 4 days or so.
Yeah. Okay. So it made sense that I just like kind of missed it.
Yeah, and the first time I did it, it was like the same sized thing the whole time, and it was much smaller. But this one, actually, there were 2 canvas expansions, I believe. Like it first started out like they made it wider.
Canvas expansions. Like
it started out like a fourth the size the final thing was.
Uh-huh.
And then day 2, they expanded it to like they like added the same size square beside it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny. Each day they expanded the canvas. The new like blank canvas would like fill in with like this void and like random words and stuff. And it was all chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually from the chaos would become like detailed shapes and like things would take form and stuff. It was really cool to see.
Oh.
And then like the final expansion like doubled that size again, I believe. So where it was like a enormous square. And yeah, you can just like find just about any pop culture reference in there, like if you look hard enough. So it was neat.
YouTube Rewind.
YouTube Rewind? I don't know if it was in there.
Yeah, okay. Who put it together? Like it was just like a Reddit or
it's just like a subreddit thing. I don't know, whatever moderators do it. I don't really go on Reddit too much.
Sure.
Unless I'm really bored at work and nothing else to do.
Yeah. And you don't have a script to write or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, and that's why I was even following in the first place. I was like, oh, our place is happening again. That's cool.
Yeah.
Another favorite April Fool's Reddit thing from the past I remember was the KO. Yeah, KO.
Happy birthday to KO.
Yeah, happy birthday to KO, the subreddit prank.
Yeah.
Because surely it's not his real birthday. There was a button April Fool's thing that I hope they do again. Essentially, it was a 60-second timer countdown, like, and a button.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can only ever click the button once. Once you press it, you can never press it again.
Okay.
And basically, it was a contest to see, like, how low of a time you can click the button. And it would count down from 60. Most people get, like, 59 or 58 seconds. If you're really badass, you get it, like, at 55 or something. But, like, people are, like, always clicking this button. Like, it's on the front page. You just always see this button. Once you click it, you can never click it again. So it's like, do I want to just, like, go for just, like, a 60 and just, like, say, fuck it? Do I wait till people drop off and, like, maybe get to, like, the 50s or 40s? And I don't know. It was, like, a cool experiment to watch unfold. So.
Oh.
Because it was like, man, I could click this button and get it over with, or just never click it. And there was like factions like, oh, the non-clickers, people in here, we never click the button. There's the 40-second club, the like people like, and you had like a purple flare if it was like the first few seconds, a blue flare for like 50 seconds, a green flare. It was like a big dick measuring contest basically.
I don't quite understand how, like, it's counting down from 60?
Yeah, so each time someone clicks the button, the timer restarts to 60.
Oh, okay.
And it always starts at 60 each time and it goes down.
So you just sit there and wait until it's like in the 40s and then you click it.
You're watching this timer and it's, for the most part, just like 59, 58, 60, 59, 60.
Okay. I get it now.
It's doing that for the most part. But occasionally there's like a brief planetary alignment moment where it manages to get down to like 56, 55, 54. Oh, do I click it now? Do I get 54? I don't know. And yeah, they might do that again at some point. We'll see.
That's dope.
That'd be cool though.
You were talking about how like you were looking at or browse Reddit at work or whatever when you don't have much time.
They Reddit army.
Yeah, when you have time to kill at work. That's all been sucked up by like learning Swedish for me.
Well, something actually useful. Wow.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's just like, like r/place. I haven't run into this. How have I not run into this? It's like, okay, because I don't browse that much more because I'm just like, I have 20 minutes.
You're definitely taking the W here.
See, it's funny. It feels like I'm like out of the loop on so many more things now, but like, and I.
Dude, being in the loop is overrated.
Hey, you know what?
It's so mainstream.
Hey, props. Yeah, I'm down with that. That'll be my attitude towards it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so quick Swedish update. I'm still learning. It's difficult to make improvised sentences in Swedish. Because
I feel you.
Like in English, it's just so free flow. I feel like with Swedish, you have to like pre-plan your sentences a lot more, and I'm not that kind of person where I have to like sit there and be like, okay, what am I about to say? And go through it that way instead of just kind of start the sentence. because the verb has to go like second after whatever the establishment of the sentence is. It's like, oh, my dog is running. Like you can't in English you can go like, oh, my dog's, I don't know, he's running, he's over there, you know. But like in Swedish, you have to go
in
like
Swedish. It's much more stilted for you right now.
Well, for me, for sure, it's just like min hund springer över där. But like, I guess that's not really.
Too.
I guess that's not really a good example. But like, if you want to put stuff at the end of a thought in Swedish, you can't really put the verb at the. Like, I feel like maybe somebody's be like, oh no, you could totally do that. But I feel like you can't. You have to put the verb earlier in onto the sentence, or else it like doesn't. It makes sense, but it doesn't like. It isn't right. And
whereas in English, you could be like, the dog is over there,
running,
or you could be like, over there is the dog.
Yeah, it's just like the dog is over there running. Whereas like in Swedish, it's like, oh, the dog is running over there, and it kind of has to be that way. But yeah, there's tricky things like that, but also just sentences pertaining to like certain thoughts. Like, oh, what is the digit? Like, this is an example that keeps coming up in Duolingo. I don't have it written down.
The dija?
Yeah. What is the dija? Modest Tomato knows. But
he knows all too well, unfortunately.
He knows all too well. But yeah, like, what is the digit keeps coming up in like the number lesson set in Duolingo, and it's just like cifra is SIFFRA is digit in Swedish, and it's like vad är siffret, like would make sense to you, where it's just like, oh, what is the digit? Like what vad är, like what is the digit? But it like the sentence that it wants you to say is like, what is it the digit? Like you like it would translate that way to English, where it's like in English it says what is the digit. In English, if you translate like the Swedish translation, it's like what is it the digit. So
what is it the digit?
So you have to go like vad är det siffret, or like dien cifra, or like something like that. And like it's one of those things that just like trips you up, and for like very specific things, and I'm trying to like get over that, but it still makes me like really uncomfortable trying to like speak it out loud, because I'm just like, okay, well, I know how specifically to translate each specific word in this sentence, but like, is there something I'm missing with like what colloquialisms in Swedish I'm missing? Like, is there something like some detail, me not like being a native Swedish speaker am I missing? And like, would this sentence just be different if I was living there or born there, or like, oh, we don't say it like that, we say it like this, like that kind of thing. So I'm trying to get my grounds on that kind of thing. But overall, I know a bunch of words, and
you might be one of those people who like, you just got to always say, sorry, my Swedish is bad, except in Swedish. And then like, you know, there's people who come like, people who aren't natively English, they will say something perfectly in English and say, sorry, my English is bad. Like, dude, you said it perfectly. But
yeah, exactly.
But like, it's like they're like afraid it's not perfect.
Yeah, it's funny running into that as like an English speaker, and just like,
dude, your English is literally better than most Americans, and like, don't apologize at all.
I felt bad because somebody was watching my stream the other day, and they messed up their English a little bit. I think they were from Norway, and they messed up a little bit, and I like kind of not knowing that it was like a sensitive subject, I kind of like poked fun at it. And like,
iced windowsill is gonna get pissed at you.
Well, because I'm not. Yeah, exactly. We're that kind of people where it's just like, if I make a mistake, you can repeat it, and I can be like, yeah, I fucked up or whatever, and laugh at it. But if somebody is just like, oh yeah, sorry, my English, and I'm just like, no, no, that's perfectly fine. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah,
it's perfectly comfortable. But like, so what would my What did you say the sentence? Sorry, my English is bad. So it's
just say like, sorry, my Swedish is bad.
So förlåt min engelska. Oh wait, my English is bad? My Swedish?
Did I say English? I meant Swedish. I don't know what I said.
Förlåt min svenska är dåligt. That's what that is.
Oh, okay. Apology accepted.
Sorry, my Swedish is bad. But yeah, I'm making my way, and I'm still. What month am I on?
Downtown faces walking
Faces
past.
Pass. Faces Pass.
Past,
Faces Pass. I'm homebound.
You are homebound, yes.
I am currently homebound with my Swedish learning, and I think I'm on like month 6 or so. Month 7 of Duolingo.
Month 6 is where mice become men. In the Swedish world.
I love when the mice men come out, and it's terrifying.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been listening to Swedish music and stuff, so that's my little bit of a Swedish update. It feels really tough sometimes. Like,
dude, you just gotta you're at the point where, yeah, Dunning-Kruger effect. How you're so smart, psychology master. Okay. Anyway. I just wanted to sound smart for a second. Yeah, you're at the point of least confidence on the Dunning-Kruger. Fucking shut up, Trey.
I've opened myself up to now I know how little I know.
I'm going to be the armchair psychologist here.
I did have that moment where I'm just like, oh man, I'm a fucking genius. And then it was just well, now learn every word. I'm like, fuck.
It's now learn how to say sentences. Fuck.
Oh no, sentences? That's the hardest part of languages.
I thought the language was just all numbers. Damn it.
I know the numbers. Fuck yeah.
I know uno, dos, tres. I don't know anything else.
Oh man.
But yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that for sure.
I'm gonna fable more bugs later.
Yeah, you're gonna fable more bugs. I'm gonna Sims more too.
Yep.
Or maybe even turn on Elden Ring. But one thing I want to talk about before we end is so this is episode 41.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, we're going until episode 50, and that'll be the end of this season.
Season 2.
It'll be a break.
Because we don't know. Half-Life doesn't know how to get to 3. We don't know how to get to 51.
No, it'll be season 3, episode 1 before you know
There's no such thing as 51 and video games are hard.
But we don't know how long the break will be. But for the next 10 episodes, we're trying to figure out what we'd like to do with guests and stuff. So if
we were planning on more co-op guests, right?
Yes. We were talking about doing a few duos, actually. Maybe not just KO and somebody, maybe other people and slamming
but KO will be back at some point.
Yeah, maybe KO will be here for 43. But
keeping the 3 trend alive.
But is it actually 41? Wouldn't that not make sense?
I mean, we don't have to go in the exact order. We've broken the order before. We could even have 2 guest things in a row and then not a guest.
Yeah.
And then,
we're trying to figure it out. I have one guest in mind, but other than that, it's we kind of want to slam guests that we've had this season together.
Our plan was to slam 2 guests together and see if they survive.
Yeah, and just see what happens.
Slam them together.
See how big of a mess they make, really.
That might actually make for some good content. So.
But if you guys, if in the YouTube comments, if you guys have any suggestions, we'll be
we'll get PewDiePie on.
We'll definitely get PewDiePie on for sure. But yeah, if you guys want to see anybody combo from this season, or even people that we haven't had on the show before, or even season 1. I know we haven't had a few. Yeah,
we will get anyone except for Cathalon because he's MIA right now.
He's definitely MIA.
Don't know what Cathalon's doing.
But yeah, that's our plan for the rest of the season.
Yep.
And if do you want to wrap it up, or do you want me to wrap it up?
Yeah, so leave your suggestions below. Who should we slam together to see who lives? We're on Spotify, Google Podcast, and the YouTube channel SidNTrey.
Yep.
And with that being said, have a good day.
Bye, everybody.
Or night.
Or afternoon.
Peace.